It is your fave lady, and I am here with Titus. Go ahead, Titus. Introduce yourself.
Hello, everybody. Yeah, my name is Titus Walker. I'm the CEO and founder of the Ultimate Gamers League.
Yeah, exciting. The show you all been waiting for.
So
Well,
I've
Titus.
heard.
Yeah, I know, right? Exciting. This is great. So definitely a pleasure to have you,
Yeah,
and we are gonna talk about it. Mhm.
yeah, thanks for having me.
You're welcome, no problem. Okay, so how long have you been in esports?
I've been gaming since I was like 4 years old, so like 30 years. But I've been in esports about 5 years. So started in esports. I believe it's like October, November of 2019, around the time when we came up with the idea.
Okay, okay. And what made you guys come up with this kind of idea?
Well, originally, my wife came up with it, but originally it was a kind of off the cuff thing she said, where we were playing video games, me and my brother. He was visiting. We played for like 6 hours or something crazy, and she was like, "You should turn this into a business." And that kind of just clicked in my head. I was like, "Okay, this is actually an interesting thought. What if it was a business?" Because I had never really thought of it as a business, and so yeah, that made me start thinking, okay, how could we do this? And so we
Mhm,
started kind of building out what an arcade might look like, and in our research, we found that an arcade probably wasn't going to be very successful unless we had something to draw people in, and so
mhm.
that's where we came up with the concept of like the esports league that is in creation now, and that's so popular now.
Yes, I hear. I hear.
Yeah,
Tell us a little well, congratulations on that. I
yeah,
think you guys did an amazing job.
thank you.
You're welcome. I read all about it and I was like, very interesting. I had no idea of
Yeah.
anything like this. Is it the only one out there?
It is. It is. There's a
Oh,
lot of esports leagues,
mhm.
but I think the bigger difference for us, we're like the UFC of esports leagues.
Okay.
Every esports league focuses on a single skill or a single game,
Mhm.
and so you have like your Call of Duty leagues, your NBA 2K leagues, that type of stuff. But our league is a focus on the ultimate gamer, so somebody that can play all different games across all genres: fighting games, sports games, shooting games, racing games, and strategy games, combining them all and then seeing who's the best well rounded gamer. So, somebody that can win all different types of games is going to be successful in our league. Whereas in every other league, they're just focused on a single game.
Mhm.
If there's any of those leagues that still exist, most of them have been shut down recently, but
Interesting.
there are a few that I think exist still.
Okay. So tell us about your league. Like,
Uh-huh.
do you guys compete against other leagues or do you just compete with like the regular people that'll come to those sort of games and play?
So we're like kind of like the NBA structure where we have 12 teams that we're expanding to 16 for season 10. But those 12 teams compete on a regular schedule where they're all playing 10 games each season, and so they're playing against each other internally. And then there's a draft every season. There's combines. There's trades that happen throughout the season. So it runs just like a regular like NBA NFL structure. Internally people are playing each other, and if you're looking to get into the league, then you have to enter through the draft just like any other league is set up.
I follow. Okay. And if people wanted to join your league, could you explain to us how that process will work?
Yeah, so you can actually join for free on our website. So if you go to uelesports.com, you can actually just sign up, and it's free to join, and then that enters you into the draft. And if you have the skills and you have the resume, then you can get drafted. And a lot of times there's also ways to give yourself a little bit more visibility, and you would do that through our combines, our skills challenges, or through one of our hubs, which we have set up kind of all over. We have one in New York, a few in Georgia, some in the DMV area where our home base is. We're actually setting up some in Florida and Alabama as well. and a few other Michigan and a few other states that we're working on currently. So you can go to one of those hubs and qualify, and that'll get you a lot more visibility, make you more likely to get drafted, or you can just sign up for free.
Interesting. Okay. And then how do you typically select the people that you allow to come in your league and play?
So I don't select them.
Okay.
We have 12 teams. They're run by they have a team owner that's an investor, and then we have a general manager that is kind of like second in command on the team. And
Mhm.
either the general manager or recruiters or coaches will select the players that are going to get drafted. And so, if you sign up, you're going to start getting messages from the trainers and recruiters, kind of asking you about your resume, what games you play, maybe inviting you on to play with them to see so that they can kind of suss out your talent. Um, and then from there, you get drafted if you meet that certain criteria.
Oh, okay. So they practice, okay. They practice first or
Yeah,
so they
yeah. So
go ahead.
you sign up, right? And once you've signed up, you're gonna have recruiters messaging you, and so from there, you can, if a recruiter says, "Hey, can you hop on this game?" Right, and so then they're gonna hop on the game, they're gonna play together, and they're gonna see, okay, this person is really talented in this game, and so then they'll have them play more games until they can kind of suss out where they want to pick them up. Do they want them, first round draft pick, or is this somebody they can wait later on to pick up? Because there's so many people in the draft pool, everybody's kind of trying to get attention. They're all trying to get picked up by a team
Mhm.
because this season it's a $1 million season, which means gamers are making anywhere from $20,000 a year to $100,000 a year, whether they win or not. Even if they lose, they still get paid because we're set up as like a salary cap similar to the pros. So if you want to make money gaming, we're pretty much the only place you can do that.
You
And
can do
so yeah, so it's if you want to get visibility, then you would hop on and you would kind of show yourselves to the teams, to the team owners, to other players, to recruiters, just to make sure that you can get picked up by a team.
Mm, interesting. Okay. And so what do you actually do for the
uh,
company?
I am right right now. I'm basically like a PR person. That's kind of my job
Okay.
title for the most part. We have a new commissioner, so
Okay.
that they do most of the work that I used to do. Um,
Oh,
what
okay.
I'm the
Congratulations.
CEO. Yeah, yeah, I'm the
Oh,
CEO. So my job is really just to tell people about the league. I do a lot of traveling. I'll do a little bit of recruiting every now and then. I kind of just help, kind of float around, help with everything. Um, but I'm more like a glorified PR person right now. It's just I just float around and do podcasts and hop on shows and that type of stuff, just to talk about the league and let the world know about us.
yeah, let the world know. Cause I was
Yeah,
like, when I first checked it out, I'm like, I've never in my life heard of anything like this. This must
yeah,
be the only one. I wonder who his competitors are, or how can
yeah,
I get my kids involved, right?
yeah, yeah.
Because they are gamers like crazy. And I was like, this is going to be very interesting, you
Hmm.
know. Um,
Yeah, and
anything?
that's normal. I mean, most people when they find out about us, they immediately want to get involved or they want to get their kids or grandkids involved. And you
Yeah.
should. I mean, it's definitely a great experience. It's fun.
Mhm.
The kids love it, the adults love it. It's a very very fun way of playing games, and you don't have that same issue of like burnout. Most people don't want to play the same game over and over
Right.
forever, right? Like the
Mhm.
average gamer plays 24 games a year. That's
Mhm.
only 2 games a month. It sounds like a lot, but it's really not. And so
Mhm.
essentially, gamers want to play lots of games, a variety of games, and a lot of times they want to know what are some cool games to play. And so because we
Right.
cycle through so many games, we can kind of give them that direction that I think they're looking for without even knowing they're looking for it. Because there's 600 games a day that get released. So, with that many games kind of being dropped every single day, it's hard to find, good, it's just as hard as it is to find good music nowadays as it is to find, good game.
Mhm.
And so that is kind of the situation that everybody's in. And most times you find a great game, but it doesn't have a community behind it, so you end up playing the game by yourself. And so
Mhm.
that's kind of where we come in. We can, not only do we bring the competition, but we bring community along with it. We give people, other people that are like-minded, that like to play these types of games, and people that are just open-minded to playing different games. And so it's kind of like the best of both worlds. You get the community, you get the culture, and you get the competition. Oh, the
Okay.
three C's. I never really thought of that. That's my first one. Community, culture,
Don't you
competition.
mind?
Hey, three C's. That I coined that phrase on this. You heard it here
Exactly.
first.
I did. Yay. Okay. And so I heard you mention a couple of leagues. Could you explain to us how that works?
Um, Leagues as far as like the other leagues, or are you talking as far as our league?
Your league.
So
I'm
yeah, so our league consists of 33 different games,
okay.
um, but they're all combined into a single competition. And so the way it would work is, let's say I have a team and you have a team of players, right?
Okay.
And our teams are both trying to be the best, well-rounded gamers. So we're going to put 33 different games onto like a roulette wheel, right? I actually I enjoy gambling, so roulette wheel is like, that's how we made it out after a roulette wheel. So the roulette wheel has all the games on it. And the roulette wheel spins and it lands on a game, and then we play that game to determine who's better at that game. That's worth 1 point. And then it spins again, and we do it again, and we do it again, and we do it over and over and over for 4 hours. And then at the end, somebody has more points than the other. So once that 4 hours is done, whoever has the most points wins. So you're playing through 33 different games to see who's the best at all of these different games.
Interesting. I follow. Okay. And so you have actual office locations when
Yes.
okay, so when you recruit, they come into an office location.
Exactly. Yep. So if you get drafted and you live in New York, you would go to Brookland or one of the other participating locations. If you're in, Atlanta, you're going to Skillshot or, Alpha, or somewhere in that location. If you're in Michigan, you're going to Code 313. So if you're in Virginia, you're coming to our home location. So there's lots of different, you know, um, places, but essentially wherever you live and you get drafted, you would just go to whatever the closest hub is and compete
Mhm.
from there.
Oh, okay, okay. So it's not somewhere they have to come to all the time.
Yeah, no, last year it was, but this year we acquired four new locations so far, with another like six or seven
Ooh.
that are coming on board. So this year it'll be a little different in that we'll have locations in other areas so that those players can play from those locations as well.
Okay, that is very interesting. Well, congratulations to you guys. I know that's exciting.
Yeah,
Were you
it is.
expecting to grow this big, Titus?
Um, this year, no. I wasn't expecting. We kind of, the hub thing kind of happened, uh, almost on a whim. We started with Skillshot, and then in talking to Skillshot, I met with another company called Battle and Brew, and then in talking to them, I met with, it was like it just kind of started snowballing, and then next thing you know, I had different locations messaging me, asking me to acquire them as well, and so it just kind of started again snowballing, and now we've gotten quite a few different locations on board with a lot more to come, and so it's
Yeah,
exciting.
yeah, very much so. Oh
Because
my goodness.
I'll say, to start this season, we couldn't even find a location for ourselves. So it was
Oh
like, it's crazy because you know we started this season, just kind of bouncing around trying to find a place for ourselves, and then
Mhm.
we ended up finding places kind of all over the states in the same year that we couldn't find a place for ourselves. So it's a very wild scenario to be in, but we're blessed to be in it, and I'm thankful for sure.
Right. Okay. Okay. Now, do you guys also do like live streaming with the games? Because I did hear you mention. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. The games are live streamed as well. We did about 2 million views last year, so this year we expect to do a lot more. So far, we did our big game reveal, where we announced all the new games. We did quite a few. We did a lot of numbers on that event as well. So we expect this season to be huge, and it starts in a month, so we'll see whether the numbers match it. But I
Uh-huh.
believe it's gonna be massive. Our biggest year yet. So
Yay, exciting.
yeah.
So tell us how the championship went, your previous one.
Oh man, it was chaos. So well, it was good chaos. It was so we ended up having it in Capital One Arena in DC, and at their District E arena, and so um, it was massive. We had over 400 people that showed up throughout the championship. We had over, I want to say it was 30,000 viewers. Um, we had I mean, it was massive. Tab went crazy because it
Wow.
was just a really really good time. It was so exciting. It actually came. It was almost coming down to overtime, but it did come down to that final game. I think the final game was like Fortnite, and one
Mhm.
of the younger players, Ricky, closed it out for the Reapers, and they ended up winning. Uh, and that was for $100,000. So super
Wow.
exciting moment. Cutter's
Yeah.
won his first championship, so if you go to our Instagram, you'll see him crying on there,
Oh,
which was a good moment because it's his first championship in I think 5 seasons. He's been chasing one, and he's been on 3 different teams, and he's always been one of the best players. So it was cool to see him
wow.
reach that pinnacle. And then they did it with a 5-man team, which most teams run with 7. So it
Mhm.
was even more exciting because they only had 5 players, which normally would put you at a disadvantage, but they're all just so good. Um, and they were playing 4-time champions, so you didn't know
Wow.
what to expect. But
Right.
no, they pulled it out, and it was a super exciting moment. It was a lot of fun, a lot of fun.
I'm sure. I'm
Yeah.
sure. Looking toward for next season.
Oh my gosh, yeah. This season, it's gonna be the best season ever, man. We did what we called the Great Reset. Essentially, it's like all of the players were under contract prior, and we
Mhm.
voided all of their contracts so that they could sign new contracts with better terms. And so, because we grew a lot faster than we expected, we're a player first organization, and so our goal is to make sure that the players didn't get um, kind of the short end of the stick. And so
Mhm.
what we did when we voided the contracts, we allowed the players to re-sign with better terms with all the teams that they decide to be on. So all the teams have kind of evened out, and so there's no team that is the same as it was last year at by any means. I mean, they are all completely different, and so
Mhm.
it's just going to be a super exciting season because you just won't know what to expect. I mean, there's not
Right.
going to. I don't think there's going to be many blowouts. I think every game's going to be close. And I think that we're going to see a lot of really, really talented. I mean, we have a lot of professionals that are joining in the league now that have,
Nice.
millions and millions of followers. Skillshot joined with 21 million followers. Ghost Gaming, same thing. So I mean, it's going to be huge. It's just, figuring that out.
Yeah, yeah, I hear ya. I hear ya. Okay. And then how do you, so say for instance, like if they were in the league, if people were to join the league, they were recruited and they were to win, how do you guys pay them for compensation?
Yeah, so they get paid win or lose, but the way it works is you have everybody gets signed to a contract on a team. Once they get drafted, you have the top 7 players that are done. It's tier 1 through 7, and so
Okay.
if you're a tier 1 player, that means like you're the best of the best on that team. You're a leader on the team. You're one of the top streamers on the team, and so from there you would a tier 1 player, if you sign a tier 1 contract, you're making $2,500 per match, right? And so in a year you're doing 20 matches, and then in the playoffs you're making about $10,000 per match. So essentially you end up over 6 figures if you win
Mhm.
that season as a tier 1 player. So the tier 1 is clearly the most sought after. Then you go to a tier 2, which makes somewhere around $40,000 to $50,000 a year, and they're making about $900 per match. And again, that's win or lose. So you just showing up, you get paid. And then the same thing, tier
Wow.
3 is $800 per match. Tier 4 is 7, and then it goes 6, and then 5, I believe. And then as a general manager, you get paid as well. And um, yeah, you're getting paid though, win or lose. It's just you show up, you get paid. You're a performance artist and a professional gamer, and so we tried to take away, a lot of the stigma around gaming comes
Yeah.
from the fact that you only get paid if you win, right? And so a lot of times you're going to put all the effort, all the energy, all the work in, and then you're still not going to get paid
Yeah.
because you
Yeah.
didn't win. And so we try to remove that this year and make it so that, if you're performing, you're getting
Mhm.
paid, period, win or lose. And we think that that is the best way forward for esports to make it sustainable for the players as well. Because right now, esports isn't sustainable for anyone. It's not sustainable for the sponsors. It's not sustainable for the teams, and it's not sustainable for the games or the players in the games. And so we're trying to create a more sustainable space
Uh-huh.
for the gamers, because then now they can make a living wage, right? This is what they can do, and that's
Right.
sustainable. The games themselves, now they're going to get
Mhm.
promotion on our platform. The um,
Uh-huh.
the teams, because they don't have to cover that overhead of continuously
Mhm.
paying into the league. They pay one
Mhm.
time, they buy their team, and now they're in. And then the games themselves are the I don't remember the last part, but
It's
anyways,
all.
it's sustainable for everybody, and that's our goal. We want to make it a win-win for everybody involved.
I follow. Okay. So I heard you say pay for a team.
Mhm.
So that comes, explain to us how you would pay for the team. So for instance, once, so is that when they make it to the management level?
Yeah, let's say if you're an investor or a business person and you want to either promote your business, or you just want to invest into the future, of sports and entertainment, which is, gaming,
Yeah.
or you see the vision of the UEL, you can buy a franchise team. So you can, just like in an NBA, NFL, you can buy a team. The first
Yep.
team sold for, I think, 6 grand or something like that. Um,
Uh-huh.
and so you could buy a team in the league, and then you manage that team. You become the person that drafts the players. You become the person that, hires the general managers and all that stuff like that. And so yeah, so right now, if you wanted to buy a team in the league, I mean, the last team sold for 400,000, but the next one that is for sale, we're looking at about probably 600,000 to $1 million. We're
Okay.
still trying to determine where we want to really
Which
put that
where
at,
you
if
want
I'm
to
honest.
put right? So how did you grow your fan base?
Yeah, a lot of word of mouth. The
Okay.
players in our league are really, I mean, the culture we have and the community we have is by far the best culture and community in esports,
Mhm.
period.
Okay.
And
Okay.
so people, once they become a part of that culture, and they see, the people that are involved in that culture, and they start to kind of see all the like-minded people, and everybody's very accepting of each other, and people are willing to teach each other how to play different games and want to help each other become professionals. There's still trash talking and stuff, but that
Of
community,
course.
I think, is how we've grown the league. I think from top down, the community, the culture,
Mhm.
um, community, culture, collaboration, and competition. Now we got four C's. Um, but yeah, I mean, those things are really how the league grew. We've only spent, in 5 years, we spent 20 grand on marketing total. So we're not really spending a lot to market this league. It's just like word of mouth. People really like it. Our players are
Mhm.
amazing. Our team owners are amazing, and so people just love it, and they talk about it, and that helps us tremendously.
Good, good. Okay, okay. Now, explain to me or us, my apologies, how your weekly tournaments work out.
Sure. So there's a match every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and it'll be two teams. So let's say, Virginia Bots versus let's see, it was Texas Cyclone is the new team that just got added. So
Mhm.
those two teams are going to play each other. They're going to sit down, they're going to select their teams, then they're going to sit down and play, and it's a 4-hour match. And then the next day, two other teams show up and play each other, and that consistently happens throughout the season, which I think season is like 16, 17 weeks
Okay,
of gameplay, and
okay.
then that ends, and the playoffs start, and so you'll have a wild card matchup for the two teams that were at the that were third in the conference. Um, and so then those two teams try and play into the playoffs, and then from there you have your conference finals and then your championship match, um, and that's how that works, and then it starts again for the next
Following
6 months.
for the next. Okay. Okay. Interesting. And then after that 6 months is when the championship kicks off.
Yep, yep.
Follow. Okay. I like that. So, Titus, tell us what success looks like in your shoes.
Man, success has looked the same for me since day one. My players will tell you, the ones that were there season one. I've always just said I want to get them paid to play video games. That is success to me.
Mhm.
Making sure that they're paid to play video games, because I think professionally, professional gamers deserve it just as much as anybody else.
Yeah.
And I think creating a sustainable place for them. But more than that, I just want to create opportunities for people. If I can create opportunities for as many people as I can, to be able to be successful, to be able to feel a sense of purpose, that would truly be. I mean, that's really my goal. I mean, getting rich, I know, is a part of it, but it's not the goal. It never has been. Um, those that have been there and have seen this thing kind of grow from where it started know that. I mean, they know, they've seen all the money is poured right back into them
To
since the
them.
beginning, whether it be through upgrading equipment or production, or I've just never been the type. If we make a sale or we get money in, that money goes right back to the community and the culture. um, and so yeah, it's that's my success factor: creating opportunities and getting them paid to play video games.
Okay. Now, I notice you guys have several video game genres that you guys play.
Hmm.
Um, and how do you guys weigh out which person would play each game, or is it just based off of like a skill set when you guys are determining where to place them?
Yeah, yeah. So when they're getting drafted, a lot of times it's really just determined by their own skill set. Like if this person is good at, if their hand-eye coordination is amazing, they're normally going to be great at shooting games, and so that's normally where you'll place that player. Although sometimes they can pick up other skills too. Maybe they can pick up pattern recognition or button memorization, or those types of things that maybe are helpful in fighting games or strategy games. And so it depends on a lot of different things, but team owners normally are just looking for hard work ethic, um, accountability, and attitude. If you can get those three factors, you're normally in a much better position to be successful in the league, because the league, the teams all know it doesn't really matter how much skill you have coming into it if you don't have the right attitude and you don't have the right work ethic, because people are going to surpass you. When we've seen it happen so many times, players will come in and they'll be absolutely dominant in a single game. And then over time, the rest of the league surpasses them in that very same game, and they still haven't gotten better at the other games as well. And so
Mm,
they end up stagnant in that game. The league is so they. It's funny, but players in our league are so adaptable. They're so good at adapting that, like, they could play you and you may be the best person in the world today, but in a
right.
couple weeks they're going to understand you and they're going to learn, and then they're going to be beating you in this game, and they'll have caught up and you'll kind of wonder what happened.
Uh,
So adaptability is everything.
is everything. Okay. Okay. Now, for investors, right? Say that they wanted to invest. What is some um, feedback that we can share with them on how they too can get started?
Yeah. So we're getting ready to do an expansion next season. So we'll be adding another 4 teams to the league. Which, don't tell my COO I said that, because
I promise
he's
I won't.
yeah. So so yeah, we'll add another 4 teams to the league, which will give us the ability to have 4 different investors looking to buy those teams. And then from there, we're doing a fundraise as well right now. So if you get in by September, you can also invest in the league itself. But Yeah, I'd say those are kind of the main ways to get in right now as an investor.
I follow. Okay. All right. And then, uh, so for is there an age limit, or are you guys open? Like, do they have to be 13 or older, or when
Yeah,
it comes?
so historically it's been 11 and up, but we've
Okay.
since raised it. It's 12 and up now. Um, but there's a pretty stringent process for the 12-year-old. The parents of course have to sign the contract. They have to sign off on it. They also have to go through kind of a process where we check and see mature levels, because they can be good, but if they're not like there yet maturity wise, as far as like their attitude, their ability to be coached, are they coachable? Those types of things are things that coaches are looking for, because there's no point in having the skill that doesn't listen. If we're playing a team game, we need you to be able to listen, to follow the plan, and set up the rest of the team for success. And so, 12 years old right now, and then I think our oldest player is like 48.
Oh heavens.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. 48. Okay. And so to start out, they are they coming to like a software, or do they have to have the physical game?
Oh no, we have everything. We have all of the games. We have all the licenses. We have all the PCs, all the keyboards, mice. All peripherals. Period. We have. So they're allowed to bring their own like controllers and stuff if they want. But we have it all. We provide everything that they would need so that it's kind of even playing field. They don't have to worry about that stuff.
Okay. So start us from scratch. We go online, we signed up,
Mhm.
right?
Yep. So from there, I would recommend you do a skills challenge, at least one. So either going to one of our hubs or going online, do a skills challenge so that you can showcase where you sit on the leaderboard, give yourself a little bit of visibility. Then I would join our Discord right away, so that you can talk to general managers, team owners, recruiters, kind of just make yourself known. There's an introduction tab in our Discord so you can introduce yourself, what you play, that you registered, who you are and what you've done in the past, that type of stuff, just a resume type thing.
Yeah.
And then stay active, make sure you're paying attention, make sure you're following on Instagram, and checking out for the combine and the drafts and that type of stuff, because our draft is this weekend. So
Oh,
you have really until tomorrow to sign up, if you're
okay.
interested for season
Okay.
9.
For season 9. Okay.
Yep.
And then otherwise after that it would be like
Yeah,
a
it'd be
different
season
next
10 you'd
season.
be
Next
registering.
season.
Yep.
I follow. Okay. Okay. All right. Just trying to think like if anybody was to ask questions or reach out, I know exactly what to say.
Yeah.
Um which is why I asked that. So like, are you guys in any areas like Illinois, Texas, Georgia,
So
California?
we're talking to a location in Georgia. Well, we're in Georgia now, but talking to a
Okay.
location in Texas, talking to a location in California, Vegas as well.
Oh,
Um,
interesting.
let's see, Florida, North Carolina,
Okay.
Alabama,
Okay.
Michigan, Chicago, and
Okay.
others. There's a lot, but that's more my strategy. My strategist does most of that. Brandon, and then my COO, and then Kevin. They handle most of that stuff. So yeah, you can reach out at to if you're a location and you're looking to become a hub for the UEL, you can do so. Just reach out to either Kevin at UEL Esports, 300 at UEL Esports, or Brandon at UEL Esports.
Right on. And they can also find them at the website address
Yep.
too, correct?
Yep.
Okay. And you guys, the link is there. So if you want to click on that, you can find those. You can find that team and reach out to any of them. Okay. So any um any events that you guys have coming up, or What's the next plans?
So we have the draft on Sunday.
Saturday.
Draft
Oh,
draft
Sunday.
is Sunday. Yep. And then from there we have all of the like there's going to be a lot of training happening, and then the season starts last week of August. So yeah, that'll be every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. There'll be an exciting match happening. So definitely got to tune in for those.
For sure, for sure. Okay. And so I heard you say you were on, I'm sorry, which platform was that? This
We're on Twitch, YouTube. It's really it's 8 different platforms, so pretty much all of them. Kick, Trovo, yeah, yeah, you name it, we're on there. Facebook Live, all that.
Okay, so you guys stream live on Facebook too.
Hmm.
Okay. All right. And anything else that you think that they should know? Or
No, no, make sure to tune in to Lady every week. And other than that, yeah, it's been a pleasure. You can check us out on our website, ublesports.com, and yeah, feel free to sign up. Like I said, it's free to do and will never cost you anything. So there you go.
there you guys have it. Make for sure to sign up. I know my boys want to sign up, but they're going to have to wait till next year because they're 11.
Oh man. All right. Well, get them ready. Get them
I
ready for
will.
next year.
They'll be 12 in February. So
Yeah.
you will have the twins, and we'll see who's the best out of the two since they always in competition.
There you go. There
But
you go.
but my other son is waiting for you. So I'm pretty sure he's going to sign up. And then one of my best friends is waiting for you. I know she's going to sign up. And then all
Okay.
the rest of the fans, I have no idea who they are, but they are waiting for you. So
Awesome. Awesome.
I'm excited. It was really a pleasure having you. Thanks so much for sharing that information and details with us.
No problem. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome, Titus.